Like eBay literally had me yesterday when I was making a video that things are a little bit slow at the moment. I wouldn't know exactly why that was so. I was just, here chatting with you guys, yapping about the eBay platform, why you need to, be patient with the game, because sometimes I'm going to lie to you guys. It kind of looks like, sometimes you should just give up because you see, nothing is working. You do not know where the problem is coming from. You're trying all your best, listing items, but for one reason or the other, which nobody knows, things are not selling. I've got really decent laptops, desktop PCs, monitors on my YouTube, on my eBay shop. All right. So I was wondering why things were not selling. So I feel like eBay literally had me, because just as I finished making that video, boom, from nowhere, like I always say, boom, 700 and something euros landed, in my bank account, thanks to two decent, hardwares that sold. A HP EliteDesk, 800 G6, decent small form factor PC, sold for about 390 something euros. I'm not so sure. I'm going to put a screenshot here later on when I'm kind of preparing these videos to be posted. And a Dell Latitude 9410 2-in-1 laptop. This is one very beautiful laptop. The Dell Latitudes, especially this 9410, they are one laptops that people tend to want to buy all the time because of the way it's built. Solid, robust, tough, good processor, good, RAM sticks, very decent SSD hard drive, and yes, the list goes on and on and on. People want to buy, this laptop. So one of the reasons why I was kind of wondering why these things were not selling. Of course, last week was holiday. It's understandably so that so many companies kind of went, observed the Easter Friday and the Easter Monday celebrations, and because of that, perhaps nobody was really online. I don't know if that's actually the main reason, but long story short, items sold immediately I finished making my video, just whining about eBay. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I want to keep whining so that items will be sold. And if you remember correctly, sometime last year I also made a video about the fact that I don't know what's going on. Each time I tend to talk about eBay, something tends to sell. I'm beginning to suspect my phone, because when I'm mentioning eBay, I don't know if my phone picks up the signal and kind of does something to my, through the mobile app. Look, guys, we are living in a day and age where everything is pretty much possible. Sometimes you're talking about something, and a few minutes later, you take a look at your email and you receive an offer for something, an ad for exactly that thing you're talking about. Of course, this is the cookie technology. I don't know what happens behind the scene, but if that's how it happens, then I'm better off for it, because each time I talk about eBay here, things sell. Each time I talk about YouTube, my video gets views. I don't know what you call that, but in between, 2 videos ago, I also talked about the fact that there was a PC that was, sold 11 months ago. And that was kind of particularly a difficult one. 11 months ago, this PC, were sold because buyer bought 3 pieces, but reached out to me a few days ago and said one of them was defective. And because I do offer, 1 year guarantee on the hardwares I sell, I am expected to take this item back and take a look at it. I saw the packet arrive yesterday. Hopefully today I should be able to take a look, bring it out of the box, possibly make a video about it. Look, I saw what the buyer did. Respectable buyer. Shout out to you if you're watching this video by chance. It's very unlikely, but buyer did a great job, because I saw the packet was properly packed, properly addressed to me, good sellotape, well, delivered. And this is what I always say about this on this channel. I have no problem with people returning my items, but the condition in which the item is returned, plays a long or matters a lot. When I saw this box yesterday, I said, oh, this buyer 1 year later still knows what to do, how to do the right thing, how to deliver a PC back safely and sound to the seller, and that's commendable. Of course, when I'm going to be bringing it out of the box today, then we're going to see if the buyer really did a great job, because sometimes the box might be looking clean, but inside the PC, a very bad job might have been done. I really do hope that that is not the case. All right, so I'm taking a look at that. Like I said, the bad one, but it's not over yet, because for desktop PCs, it's pretty much what you can actually open up. If there's a defective part, like the power supply, the main board, RAM sticks, these are things that you can actually, take apart. But for a Dell Latitude laptop, for example, which is a notebook, that notebook is difficult to open. First of all, if the RAM sticks are defective, you can pretty much forget, because there's just no way on earth that you can begin to open up the RAM stick, because they are soldered to the main board. But of course, if the hard drive is defective, that's something that we can actually also do. But laptop is not something I like to mess with. Beautifully enough, in the last times, we've not had any problems with any of the laptops. Somebody also wrote me, wanted, the invoice sent, even though the invoice was already placed in the box. But buyer, they are what they are. They want me to send another invoice to a particular email address, which I also have to do today. So guys, today already appears very full, all right? And then there's still a lot of stuff. Documents need to be sorted, preparing for tax and stuff like that. These are the millions of stuff that happens behind the scenes. So when somebody tells you, I know flip pieces for profit, and the person appears to be very, very chill and not doing anything, begin to suspect that business model, because the flipping pieces for profit that I know or that I practice entails that you are constantly doing a lot of stuff. Either you are shipping out stuff, you are troubleshooting some PC, you are replying to some customer requests, something sold that you have to bring out of the shelf, you have to clean it up, or you receive new inventories that you have to prepare and list. It is a full-time job. Of course, if you can hack your life to a point where you can do it on part-time basis, that is a beautiful place to be. And I'm telling you, that is a very, very beautiful place. If you can, still work your full-time job and still have time, or you build very good processes that ensures that you can still practice your supposedly full-time reselling business on a part-time basis, you are Gucci. I'm telling you, you are Gucci, because you're going to be making 2 full-time incomes. Yes, 2 full-time incomes if you have done your homework properly. This is not a get-rich scheme by any means. And sometimes it's always good to, put this disclaimer in place. All right? You can get 2 full-time income if you have hacked your life to the point where you can have a full-time job and still place your reselling on the side, and that reselling brings a full-time income to you. Guys, I'm going to be leaving it here. Definitely, I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the behind the scenes, me shipping out these laptops, the HP EliteBook 800 G6, and opening the box, for the PC that was returned to me later on today. Until I see you again in the next one, peace out.